Good?
Yep.
Alright. Hello everybody, welcome to my panel on Visual Kei. My name is Kaiju Otaku. I have been a fan of Visual Kei and anime for quite some time now, and today we're going to go over the history and different types of Visual Kei. But before we start, who's heard of Visual Kei? Anybody?
Visual Kei.
Negative? Okay. So, we got some new people new to Visual Kei, so with that being said, let's get started. Alright, introduction. What is Visual Kei? Visual Kei is basically the Japanese version of glam rock. What is glam rock, first of all? So, glam is essentially like where most American musicians use makeup and crazy hairstyles. A primary example would be Kiss, Guns N' Roses, and so forth, including David Bowie as well. Now, Visual Kei is the same thing, except it comes in many styles compared to glam rock in America. It's all about the style and music with the artist, essentially. So, where Visual Kei started and the pioneers. Visual Kei the location of Visual Kei started all the way in Japan in the 1980s to 1992, and it grew as a success. And in case you're wondering who the pioneers of Visual Kei are, so Visual Kei was an underground thing in the 1980s. It all started with X Japan, which are these guys right here, the founders of the style, so to speak. They were the ones who started, I would say, the movement of Japanese music and Visual Kei in Japan. You are probably wondering, who is X Japan? X Japan is a power speed metal band, almost kind of like Megadeth and... God, I'm trying to think of another American band off the top of my head, but Megadeth is kind of speed metal, more or less. Formed in 1982, in case if you're wondering what power and speed metal is, it's basically when the guitar notes are really, 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 really fast. And where they have like really fast guitar solos like that are really complicated. Alright. And how it started. Most of the music style was influenced in the West. Most of the influence style came from David Bowie, which is this guy, very well known. Just to name a few. David Bowie, Guns N' Roses, Kiss, just to name a few. Now we're going to go into the different types of key. So, there are tons of different styles of Visual Kei, for one. With that being said, let's go into a few of them that are really well known. Starting with Getouei, old school. Getouei translates to old school. Basically, it's the first type of kei that was in the 2000s, somewhere along the lines of musicians would wear crazy punk-like clothing, have their hair teased. Sometimes the main founders of Getouei were essentially X Japan, as usual. And now to the next one. Nagoya-kei. Nagoya-kei basically translates to goth. This type of kei is gothic looking. Goth usually consists of dark clothing, dyed hair, sometimes painted nails. And their style of music is hugely in the realms of the darkness. Bands that use this style include Nightmare and the Gazette. Now we're going to go into the pretty stuff, or casual stuff as I like to call it. Casual kei. Soft kei basically is usually considered the casual version of Visual Kei, mainly with the pop idol look. This would include ties, blazers, any form of standard clothing. Casual hairstyles would include natural hair dye, EX brown, sometimes blonde, sometimes silver. And these are the bands that use this style. Alice 9, these are just a few random bands I found on Google that have this type of style. And Genkei Oshirikiri, aka energetic. Oshir translates to energetic. Oshirikei is usually where the band usually has a lighter and brighter, more colorful style. This usually consists of clothing and hairstyle, and upbeat vocals. Like they'll usually have their hair like dyed pink, purple, a little bit of a darkish, lightish brown, sometimes blonde, sometimes orange. Really all the colors in the bright color spectrum. Alright. Next one, Angara key, aka traditional. Where this is where musicians basically have kimonos and no hair dye. It's all natural. Sometimes they'll have long hair. And most of their style of music is mostly metal. And now we're going to get into the aesthetic and why. So the entire reason why Japanese musicians and artists use this makeup, get out of my way, don't care. So the entire reason why they do this is to look, whether it look gothic or flamboyant, this is to mainly stand out in the crowd and have an image of some sort. Alright. And styled hair, styled and dyed hair. So two main things that make the musician stand out in the crowd is the makeup and crazy hairstyle, clothing as well. The characteristics of styled hair is either frizz and dyed. Sometimes it'll be single color, sometimes it'll be multiple, kind of like these 4 images right here. Hiking, one of my favorite guitarists, Hitsuki from Nightmare. He hot. Style and clothing. Style and clothing is another thing that makes the musician stand out in the crowd, and it ranges all over the place. Style of clothing consists of leather jackets, dress shirts, punk-like clothing, sometimes even dresses. Makeup. So the makeup is, in my personal opinion, one of the best things that make the artist stand out. From crazy eyeliner all the way to lipstick and their visual style. There's like various styles of makeup for each Japanese artist. My personal opinion is usually when they aim for the eyes, like eyeliner and whatnot. Alright, list of visual kei bands to listen to. So these are my personal recommendations. You're more than welcome to explore all over the place for visual kei artists. If you want to listen to 80s style visual kei, Extra Band is the first way to go. Nightmare, yes. The same people who did the world. If you like Death Note, go for Nightmare. They have a bunch of good songs. I want to listen to upbeat style. Spy States is the way to go, aka Jun, which essentially he's a solo artist, so I don't know what he's doing now these days, but I know I think he's doing other stuff, but I don't know. Alright. But wait, there's more. Onmyoza is my personal favorite band due to the power chords and riffs and beautiful singing, because it's essentially 2 people singing in unison. Gazette is another good gothic and really good, same band that did the song Shiver from Black Butler. Yep,
I love that anime.
Yep, he knows. Now, my personal favorite artist, Takashi Nishikawa, aka TM Revolution. If you love J-pop and J-rock and high, fast-paced induced beats, Team Revolution is the way to go. He's the same dude that did Ronin Kenshin, the opening, like the closing to Ronin Kenshin, Heart of the Sword. I would recommend go checking him out. And if you are into melodic rock, Phantasmagoria is a good one to listen to, which they are essentially where they're right there. Alright. And music video style, because I cannot translate Japanese at all. So, Ramai by Team Revolution. Ramai is a good one, is if not one of my favorite songs. High-induced, fast-paced energy is all I have to say. It's a really, really good song. In case you were wondering what it translates to Thunderbolt. So, the music itself is basically a lot of flying swords, fast-paced beat to it. Also, it's one of his singles, best track ever in my personal opinion. Alright, The World by Nightmare. So this track, go to the next slide. So this track kinda is legit a great, it has a great slow start for an intro, epic build-up with to each note. In this music video, there seems to be some small symbolism that kind of correlates to the anime, which I'm going to show you later on. Spoiler alert, by the way. Example would be the tarot card reader. Tarot card readers usually tell the future, so it makes sense because in Death Note, the intro itself kind of foreshadows what happens to Light. The music video itself has goth written all over it. Background to Dark Filter, and this track, it was a single hit too as well. Aoki Dakugan by Omayosa. Alright, so Aoki Dakugan is a very underrated song by Omayosa from their album Kishiboshin, which translates to Mother of Demons. Now, the music video itself seems like the entire theme has to do with samurais rising from the battle and from the battlefield and to get back into the fight. The song itself has a lot of really good power chords and guitar riffs. The area where they're performing is in a cool spot, like with cool green screen and whatnot. Dark skies and a lot of 360 camera turning. Legit, one of my favorite track spot next to Shushu. Alright. Those are some of the what's it called, tracks to listen to and whatnot. Because I felt like putting this as a bonus. My personal favorite guitars by each artist. I believe that is Hyde and on the right picture, and that is Hitsugi. The guitars for Nightmare. Alright, conclusion. So as we wrap up this conclusion, Visual Kei is the art that plays into the intros and outros when it comes to anime and whatnot. How this relates to anime exactly? So these artists are the ones who create the intros and outros for our favorite animes. Examples would include Black Butler for one, Shiver, and in my personal Visual Kei is really cool in my personal opinion. Also, Visual Kei artists are hot and cute.
I agree!
Yes, exactly. And now, questions and comments before I start the music video. Sure? No questions and
I
comments?
have a question for you.
Yes.
What's your favorite K artist?
Probably Omayosa, the traditional Japanese artist.
Say that one more time.
Omayosa.
Oh, wait, what?
Omayosa.
Okay, gotcha.
It's a really weird pronunciation, and also Nightmare.
Gotcha.
Alright, and because I would suggest turn off cameras because copyright, blah blah blah, so turn off your cameras because we're going to watch a music video.